Greetings. I just wanted to come on here quickly and talk about something new that some of you may already know about. I have started a website, Bird and the Crone, and a company Facebook page by the same name. And thank you to everybody who supported me so far on there. I really appreciate it. I also wanted to take just one moment to say I have some people who have visited the website and tried all the pages on there and the little rooms, and have commented that some of them are still bare. I know it is a work in progress, very much so. Particular interest has been paid to the cupboard, what's in my cupboard, and it's empty right now. It is bare, but I assure you that is a very temporary situation. In the meantime, I'm posting blogs. I'm trying to do that somewhat regularly. I also have I have offerings of tarot readings on there. I wish you would take some time to look over those readings. I offer quite a few, and each Sabbath, each season, I offer for the entire season. I have different special. I had some for Imbolc, and I'm adding one for Austar this year. But in the meantime, some feature that I've added onto the website, which I post regularly here on Bird and the Crone on Facebook, is a weekly tarot scope. Now, that's just for entertainment only, right? It's just tarot scopes, just like a horoscope, are very fun. That's all they're for, really. And one of the reasons we think they're just for fun is because, they're not often extremely accurate. And there's a reason for that, of course, because they are based on your sun sign, right? They're based on your sun sign. Now, first of all, there's a little bit of confusion about sun signs. A sun sign doesn't have anything to do with your birthday. Every year we have a birthday. And it's not really based on your birthday. It is based on your birthday. The day of your birth. It has to do with, and it is determined by the day you were born, the time of day you were born, and the place where you were born. That's very, very important. And that determines your sun sign, right? And the reason I say it that way is because if you are familiar with, if you look around at various horoscopes, and you look at the dates, like, Virgo is these dates, or Cancer is these dates between this date, and Cancer is this date in June to this date in July. That varies from maybe up to 1 or 2 or 3 days on each end, okay, depending, because we, of course, have things like leap year that happened and things like that. So it doesn't always come out to be the exact same day. But yours will be determined when you were born, the year of your birth, when you were born, the day of your birth, where was the sun. Okay? Now, for instance, I am a Cancer. I was born on June 22nd. And June 22nd is what they call being on the cusp, right? And that means it's right on the edge between Gemini and Cancer. And sometimes the date varies. Sometimes Cancer begins on the 22nd. On some horoscopes, if you look, it begins with June 22nd. Some of them begin June 21st. And I've seen some that begin June 20th. Okay, so depending, if your birthday falls on June 20th or June 21st, according to some horoscopes, you're Cancer, and according to some horoscopes, you would be Gemini. So what is it? It is when you were born. What was it when you were born, the day you were born? Okay? Something to remember. Okay. Anyway, I'm saying they're general because they're based just on the sun sign. But if you know anything about astrology, you might have heard the term the big three. The big three. What is the big three? Talk about the big three all the time. The big three are the things that are the most important. Just like if you've ever had an astrological chart of your birth, it's a very involved thing. It shows where not just the sun was at your birth, but it shows where the planets were in the sky when you were born as well, and how they interact with each other forms this very complex chart, and it's very individual information specific to you, rather than something very general, specific to everybody born under the sign of Virgo, for instance. Okay? Okay, that's why we care. What exactly is the big three or the triad? Well, we just said it is the number one, the sun sign. And the sun sign is important. Now, don't get me wrong, the sun sign is very important because the sun sign talks about who you are, right? It is your ego. It talks about what motivates you. Okay? So that's still very, very important. But also important is your moon. Where was the moon? And I'm going to be doing another video. I have another video that I'm going to be putting up maybe today or tomorrow, that it is for the YouTube Pagan Challenge, and that is specific about the moon and about the effects of the moon on us. And we know the moon affects us very much. So the moon had an effect also when you were born, right? It had a very big effect on you. And the moon, some people call that your soul self. It's your feelings, okay? It's how you react to things. Are you emotional? Are you stubborn? Are you, do you fly off the handle quickly? That's often determined by where the moon was at the time of your birth. The other of the big three is called either the ascendant or the rising sign. And what that is what planet was just coming up in the eastern horizon at the time of your birth. Now, if you were born near sunrise, it will be the same as your ascendant. And you would be called that. Then if you have the same rising sign as the same or ascendant as the same sun sign, you're called a double blah blah blah. If both your sun and your rising sign are Sagittarius, you're a double Sagittarius, what's known as a double Sagittarius. I, interestingly, am what is known as a triple Cancer. My sun is in Cancer, my moon is in Cancer, and my rising sign is Cancer. I am a mess. I'm an emotional mess. I don't know. Anyway, knowing these three things gives us a little more information, right, about you. Because you're not just your sun sign. You are also, your emotions are very much a part of your sun sign. Your ego, your emotions, and also your face. Your ascendant has to do with your public face. How does your personality manifest itself? How do other people see you? Okay? It is very, very important. So if you're going to look at a horoscope, or you're going to look at, in this case, my weekly tarot scope, it is probably very important that you look at your triple three, right? Your big three, or also it's called a primal triad, I believe, primal triad. Anyway, you're talking about your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign. Now, how do you find that out? Well, very simply, you can Google it. You can put it in the Google, and you can find out for free. You just put in the day of your birth, and the time and the place you were born, and it'll come back free. Okay. Now, of course, you can have a more complex chart done. Of course, then usually the place that offers it free will also offer for a fee. They will give you a complete chart, which you might want to do. Others do it. I have done it. I do it. If you're interested, I can do it for you, but it's not for free. There's a fee. If you were interested, you can give me a little message. But right now we're talking about something for free, and so you can go and find out for free your big three, right? And then when you go to something like the weekly tarot scope, you can look. I would recommend that you look at who is your sun sign. If your sun is in Cancer, look at Cancer. If your moon is in Gemini, look in Gemini as well. And if your rising sign or ascendant is Aries, look at Aries. Read what those three say. Okay. Does that sound ridiculous? It might sound ridiculous when you think about it as a horoscope, because we're so used to looking at one, right? But think about it. How is that any different than doing a 3-card reading? When you join a 3-card reading, you have 3 cards to contemplate. Okay. Same thing. But you're doing it this way. If this is 3 cards specific to the signs of the horoscope, the signs of the astrological signs. Okay. Anyway, just thought it was a little bit interesting. I wanted to say. Now, moving into that a little further, okay. I want to talk about why it is also important to me. It might be important to you if you want to do it for something like that, but why it is important to me, and this is a little more specific, is as a tarot reader, okay, I offer readings, and I offer them different ways. I offer them in my parlor at home, or sometimes I go out and offer them out and about, or I offer them, that's a face-to-face reading, or on Skype, which is also a face-to-face reading, but I also offer them as a YouTube, unlisted YouTube video, okay, where you have to see you can only see it if you have the link, okay. In that case, I don't have you in the room with me. I don't have you in the room with me, not only to interact, but I don't have you in the room with me, and as an empath, that's a little risky. It's a little risky. If I am completely blind and just doing a reading, because it's an empath, I pick up all kinds of energies. I pick up energies, my own, or around me. And that's why when I do tarot readings, I really focus on the cards. If I focus on the cards in front of me, I can usually block out my energies very well. I know what's mine, and I don't want to put my stuff into somebody else's reading. And the cards help me to focus, and I've been very successful with that. But what about the other energies around me? If I have a clairant in the room with me, or a clairant on Skype, I can focus and I got their energies this way. But if they're not present, there might be other things around me. There might be other people around me. There might be other leftover energies left over from other people that have been in the room, right? People that come, if you watch my channel, there's usually somebody that comes to my window every time I sit down here to do a video. Okay, so maybe the energies are there, or whatever. So if I have your personal big three, if you give me the information and I'm able to look it up, and I look at what kind of person I'm talking about, what is your sun sign, what is your moon sign, what is your rising sign, how do you react to things, how do you present, how do you hold your emotions, I'm better able to identify the energies and do a really more accurate reading for you. Okay. So for me, it's a big deal. And I think for you, if you find this out, if you don't know already, I think you will find it will really help you. It will explain some of the things. I think a lot of people have looked at a horoscope before and said, or just into astrology and said, oh, well, I'm supposed to be in Aries, but I'm really not like that. And, I'm going to do a video on that one time because I have another video that I'm working on that talks a little bit about that, because I was warned about my husband when I was young. And during the 60s, when I met my husband, when we were first dating, everybody was into horoscope then, right? And tarot and, astrology and all kinds of things, palmistry, and everybody said, oh, he's an Aries and you're a Cancer. Oh, fire, water, don't mix. Well, obviously we've proved that wrong. And I know why now. And I'm going to do a video on that in the future. But anyway, for right now, if you don't already have your big three, know your big three, I'm going to put a link down below. There's plenty. You can just Google it, like I said, or you can go to this one. I know it's absolutely free. And just put in your birth date and you'll know your big three. And then check out the weekly tarot scope or any other horoscope and see if that helps you a little bit, knowing that. A little bit more information, okay? Okay, that's all I wanted to say. I meant to be quick, and I, as usual, talk too much. Anyway, thank you very much for coming to my channel. I am Rebecca, and I wish you blessings.